Today I'm with Juan Micieli-Martinez, head winemaker and the new chef here for our new show, and a host. And he is making pizzas here today.
I'm not a chef, Peter. I just play one on TV.
Well, I hear that you're quite the good cook. So I want to make a toast to our first show here. And what are we drinking?
We are drinking our 2007 Merlot, barrel aged for about 16 months. Perfect wine to go with the pizza that we're going to be making today. It's going to be a pretty basic, you know, a nice dough that's going to be a bit of semolina flour and some whole wheat flour as well too. But it's going to be topped with some sautéed broccoli, some garlic, a little crushed red pepper for some spiciness, and topped off with a little bit of pecorino romano cheese. So, cheers.
Enjoy.
Let's get started here. First things first, we gotta have a little wine. What I'll do with this is I'm gonna use about 4 cups of white flour, some white flour or whole wheat flour, and then I'll use about 1.25 cups of the semolina flour. The semolina flour has more gluten in it, so it'll give the dough a little bit more stretch. You're also gonna throw some salt into there as well too. I throw in around 3 teaspoons of salt. You know, we're gonna be making enough dough for 3 pizzas, and I'm using kosher salt here. Also gonna be needing yeast. Yeast are pretty much what's gonna make all the magic happen in the dough. So I'm putting it about 5 to 6 teaspoons of yeast is gonna go right into there. And I'm kind of an eyeball chef. A little here, a little there. And then lock the KitchenAid in. We've got to have the dough hook in there. Get that stirring. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is about 2.25 cups of warm water. Essentially, you're trying to give the yeast a nice environment in which they can start to do their work, and it's going to be pretty much, you know, making the pizza elastic. It's going to help give it the elasticity. Throwing a little extra virgin olive oil right into there. Again, I eyeball it, but it's going to be roughly around 3 tablespoons. And you're going to keep on putting the water into there. You want to make sure that you have a nice soft consistency. You don't want it to be too mealy. And so I'll keep on adding this in here. While that's going there, I'm going to go ahead and get started on what's going to be the topping, you know, for this pizza. So we're going to come on over here. I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil right in my pan. I'm going to get a nice coat on that. I like olive oil, so you know, I go a little bit more generous. It will soak into the pizza dough itself. Once I can get that up to temperature, I'm going to go ahead and add some crushed red pepper right into there. If you don't like your stuff spicy, then I would, you know, recommend backing off on it. But I like my pizzas a little bit spicier, so I'm going to go ahead and put more in there. Next thing I'm going to go ahead is put in my garlic and my onion. I've chopped that up in advance. It's about half an onion and as much garlic as you want. If you're a garlic lover like myself, I've put about 6 cloves of garlic in there because I like it really garlicky. And I go with a rougher chop. I really want to taste that nice rich garlic flavor in the dish. So you go ahead and you get that sauteing. In the meantime, you chop up some broccoli. And you know, it depends on what you like. You know, this time of year you can find broccoli around at the farm stand, so I like using the local broccoli. You know, you can also find your onions as well too, but I'll change this seasonally depending on what's available. But right now the broccoli is dynamite, so that's what I'm going to use here. Go ahead and just drop that right into the oil. Now I'm going to go ahead and give that a little saute. And that's going to go for a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm just going to go check on my dough, see how that's looking. Dough's looking perfect. It has the nice consistency that I'm looking for in the dough, very smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that. And then I'm going to put this in a warm place. You know, you can put your oven on warm for a few minutes. And that's going to help it to rise. And depending on how much time you have, sometimes I like to put this dough together before I go to work in the morning. let it rise all day long, come home, reheat it quickly again, and then we'll make the pizza from it. But otherwise, if you have a couple hours, 2 hours, that'll be just fine. All right, come back, sauteing still. That's going there. So I made some dough a little bit earlier in the day. And so here's kind of what it looks like after it's been sitting there rising. And now you can start to form your pizza. So you gotta have a pizza peel, and it's also very important to have your pizza stone in the oven. I have my pizza stone warming up in the oven, and you wanna get that real hot. I have the oven set around 525 degrees. Depends on your oven, but roughly around 500 is where you want to be. And so I'm going ahead and I'm putting a little bit of cornmeal right onto the peel itself. And that's just going to help the pizza slide off the peel very nicely. Then I'm going ahead and I'm starting to form my pie. And you can see the elasticity from the semolina flour and the other flour, the white flour that I was using, and I'm getting a nice formed pizza there. And if you're really daring, you can go ahead and throw it up in the air, but that's not me. So you lay that right onto your pizza peel. Got this sauteing over here nicely. And depending on how you like your broccoli, you can let it stay in there for a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, or you can let it go in there for a little longer. I like mine still kind of tough, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Now I'm going to go ahead and grate my cheese. I've got my Locatelli Romano right here. It's an Italian cheese. It has a nice, it's almost a slightly tart flavor. I don't want to necessarily call it tart, but it's almost a nuttiness to it. It's a sharper cheese, which complements the broccoli very well. Go ahead and grate some of that right here. I'm also going to use some different slices. That way you get some different melting rates on the cheese. So I've got that ready to go there. Go ahead and take my hot broccoli, my garlic, crushed red pepper, olive oil broccoli. Putting that right onto there. Right there. I'm a black pepper fan, so I'm going to go ahead and crush some black pepper right onto there directly. You got plenty of salt in the cheese, so you don't really need to put any additional salt, but if you like it, you can go right ahead and put some on there. And then this is going to go ahead right in the oven. And the oven's set at around 500 degrees. It's going to go in there for about 10 minutes. And after about 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and just check on the pizza, make sure it's not sticking to the stone. And after about 10 minutes, that pizza will be done. So after about 10 minutes, you wind up with a pie that looks just like this. So at this time, I might invite you back on, Pete, to give a little taste of the pizza and let me know what you think. And we can go ahead and pair that with some of the Merlot that I have right here.
Here we go, folks. The first big taste. Oh my Lord. Wow. Huh?
Wash it down with a little bit of wine.
Wow. That's excellent.
And that's what it's all about. Drink local, eat local. Enough said.